Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Trading with JP. In today's video, we're going to do a price prediction for the cryptocurrency Ethereum. So there's been a lot of debate on where this cryptocurrency or where Ethereum can end up by the end of the year. So we're going to do what we do best and put a technical analysis together and do our best price predictions. Before we jump into that though, do me a quick favor, smash that like button. It really does help me out way more than you would think with the Google algorithm to make sure that my videos are spread all over the cryptocurrency community. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe as well to make sure that you don't miss any other future price predictions. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into some charts.
All right, welcome back to the video. Now that we've got TradingView all loaded up, we are on the Ethereum US dollar for Coinbase. Let's go ahead and kind of dive into this and take a look. So Ethereum, very similar to Bitcoin, of course, is right here near all-time highs. And any time we're near an all-time high, it always kind of puts me on high alert, right? Because what happens after all-time highs, we typically see pretty big sell-offs. So I definitely don't want to be on the wrong end of that. And as a trader, nobody wants to be on the wrong end of that. But it can be very, very hard to predict when reversals are going to happen. So I'm definitely going to have a little bit of caution when I'm taking a look at this. So the first thing that I'm going to do charting this out is actually just go ahead and put kind of put a line right here. So this is where we are currently at. This is where we are currently at. We saw a previous level of resistance. I mean, even that resistance may even be a lot farther down here when we're kind of taking a look at the body. Actually, let's go ahead and do that as well, just to kind of put it on there. Might not be a bad idea to have it. So somewhere in here, we definitely saw a lot of resistance once it got to this point. It tried to get all the way up to 4,643, but the bears got it all the way back down to 4,100. And that was over the matter of hours, right? So, and then, well, actually, they ended up taking it way farther. They actually took it all the way down to 3,800. So that was where the day opened. So, a little bit of a different story there, but all right. So let's do some predictions. All right. So as always, the first thing that we're going to want to do is establish our trend line. So we kind of start down here from our low, and we go up, and our goal is to try to hit as much of these as possible. All right. Whoops. Just bring that back, and let's extend this out a little bit farther. Like that would be okay, I think. All right, let's change that to blue. So all of the blue lines, those are going to be our trend and our previous levels of past resistance. But now as we get a little bit more focused on actually what's going on currently, we can see that the price is above the 20-day moving average. So for me, that's a really good sign. So, as I was looking at this over the past couple of weeks and charting it out, what I was really hoping for as it was at this point is that we were going to see this low. It was going to bounce off of the trend line, go back up, reach the 20-day, again, reach the 20-day moving average, potentially creating a buying entry to show that upward momentum. Because every time that happens, we typically have a pretty significant gain. So if you could see from the very beginning of this rally, as soon as we started to go, we came down off of some buying or selling pressure, and started increasing the buying pressure. As soon as we crossed over that 20-day moving average, we had a very large gain. We saw a little bit more consolidation, bounced off of the 20-day moving average. Again, we had a gigantic dip. And then we finally saw, it crash under. We were under the 20-day moving average again for a while, came down, bounced off that trend line. And once it actually came above the 20-day moving average, we began to see another large run. So that could be potentially what is in play for Ethereum. One of the other indicators that I'm looking at right now is the MACD. So we just came off a very, very large wave of selling pressure. and we're just getting into the buying, the buying zone, if you will. The way that you kind of want to read these, though, is it's only half of it. So when we got to this point, down here, half of this, we started losing that selling pressure, and that's where it starts rounding out, right? So just because this may be green all the way out here doesn't mean that the price is going to continue to keep going. It just may mean that we had an increase of buying pressure, it started rounding out, and then now the selling pressure took over, and you constantly see those different waves in and out of the markets. So knowing that we are definitely in a very good positive uptrend, the only very, very high concern for me right now is that we are at this all-time high, but we've already, we've tested it once this year. We broke it. So now the question is will we be able to break this new all-time high? And and ultimately, I think the answer is yes. I think if we can continue to keep this momentum, I do think that we will end up breaking the all-time high. Now, kind of charting it out and getting an idea of where that may go is a little bit more difficult to establish. So, if we are expecting over potentially the next couple days, let's say the next 3 to 5 days, having some sort of, or 3 to 7 days, having some sort of buying pressure, ultimately establishing something like this where, we've had a little bit of a dip now because we're at a line of resistance, but the bulls are going to take back over here and we're going to see a fairly large run. That would be what I am anticipating is going to happen. So if the price is here, let's say this is where we close out the day, or even by somewhere throughout today, December 2nd, we start seeing this price actually moving upwards. So what I want to do is actually take this line, and let's say we were able to duplicate this run from the previous time. From the previous spot. Well, I messed that up now. All right. And we move that over into here. And so now we're trying to follow the 20-day moving average, right? So that's ultimately what we are trying to do. So from my perspective, if we were able to have a very similar run as the run that we just had, which was about just as large as this one, that would be a very healthy third run up, which things typically come in threes, right? That's the general rule of thumb. I could potentially see this happening, and we're looking at potentially getting close to around this $5,600 mark. On the flip side, the other thing that I could potentially see happening is some of the selling pressure starts to come off a little bit. Maybe we have something like this where it doesn't last as long, or maybe it's not as strong. The bears continue to play hard, and we start seeing this come down. Now this would be a very, very high level of attention if the price does indeed to continue to keep falling down. Historically, we would be able to bounce off of this trend line and then continue to go back up, but somewhere around like this, maybe the $5,400 mark instead of the $5,600 mark. If we're following kind of that same general trend of what we had last time. But like I said, where my concern is going to be is we had two back-to-back, let's call them failures in breaking the resistance line. So, for some traders, that's like, let's sell my position, wait for the market crash, and re-enter. So if indeed we have a hard time breaking this line and we continue to keep going downwards, there may be a very good chance that we're getting ready to have a reversal, and that we're going to continue to see this price going down. So my guess would be that we probably start testing around somewhere around here to here. So I would say so probably about this maybe $3,600 mark. That would be kind of what I was looking for, and that's and that could potentially occur over the next week or two, right? So this isn't necessarily just a long-term prediction. This could happen. This could happen very soon. So Ethereum is a little bit of a hard beast to tackle right now. It's pretty hard to predict. For me, I do have some stake in Ethereum. I'm hoping that I can get to I'm hoping that I can get to my sell point before this potential crash may be coming. It regardless of it happens now, it is going to be happening. So my guess is if we do indeed see this price come all the way up, regardless of it's anywhere between $5,000 and $5,600 that we're potentially projecting here for all-time highs, the crash is, I do believe, going to come. So Ethereum is one of those things that for me, it's definitely pretty high risk. I have a position in it right now. I'm very close to the sell point. If the price actually even goes down a little bit lower, I may even just go ahead and sell the position, because again, I would much rather take a 1, 2, 3% gain rather than a 10% gain, instead of going way under and ultimately losing some of the money. So that's what I'm seeing for Ethereum. Definitely a lot of risk, definitely a lot of high concern. But there could be some good potential opportunity. Again, if we're at $4,500 now, oops, I don't need notepad. If we're at $4,500 now, a 20% gain would put you at $5,400, which falls right along with where our predictions are saying that it could potentially go. So, I would definitely love to have a 20% gain on my books before the end of the year. But for me, it's probably a little bit riskier, and you might have better luck somewhere else. But at the end of the day, we never know what's going to happen, and that's why we chart everything out. So again, if you are not using TradingView, don't forget to use the second link in the description. It'll take you right to the TradingView website. You can sign up actually 100% free. Everything that you see in my video was using the free version. The paid version actually just gives you a bunch of other tools and allows you to have other indicators. So again, this is my price prediction for Ethereum over the next couple weeks, over the next month, of where I think it's going to go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already, do me a favor, smash that like button, and don't forget to hit subscribe to the channel to make sure that you get notified every time that I come out with another price prediction. All right, guys, talk to you next video.